There's an island in the eastern part of the Mediterranean Sea, about which almost everyone has heard. Yet few people know that it's divided into two parts: the Greek-controlled area in the south and the Turkish-controlled area in the north. The Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus, the name of the second state on the island of Cyprus, is so far recognized only by Turkey.
Northern part of Cyprus is very small, so we're talking about 300,000 people. And basically crime is almost nil, non-existent.
Northern Cyprus is a land of peace, historical monuments, amazing nature, great food, and hard-working people. Some stick with the traditional arts of their ancestors and are involved in craft making. Others study at prestigious elementary, secondary schools, and universities.
Most universities start from the kindergarten and goes all the way in the same institution. They can receive their PhDs or postdoctorates. The universities in Cyprus, they based on the English or the American system, and most of the education in our country and all these schools are mostly is handled in English and Turkish languages, so kids grow up learning minimum of 2 languages at the same time, with added 2 more languages later on into their education.
One of Northern Cyprus's most famous universities is EMU, Eastern Mediterranean University. Established in 1979, 16,000 students from around the world study medicine, economy, law, as well as the arts and science. Northern Cyprus offers business opportunities not only to locals, but also to businessmen from around the world.
We'd been going to Turkey for a long time, and somebody suggested we ought to come to Northern Cyprus because it was very unspoilt and very pretty. So we did, and we loved it. So we bought a property. We decided that we'd like to sort of retire out here because the lifestyle's lovely compared to the rat race in the UK and everything else. So we found the little coffee shop 2 doors up, mainly for expats, but we do have Turkish Cypriots coming in as well, and because some of them do like their bacon and their sausage and and things. And so we've tried to do an English-style delicatessen stroke cafe. So I make all my own jams, chutneys, preserves, cook ham. Everything is all homemade. So that's what we try and do.
The people of Northern Cyprus love food, as shown by the regional farmers markets. Various kinds of seasonal fresh fruits and vegetables are sold here for very reasonable prices. Popular potatoes are well known around the world thanks to their excellent taste. While walking in the market, you can enjoy the beautiful scent of flowers, fruit, local bread, or famous Hellam cheese. In summer, you can buy fresh green beans, corn, plums, peaches, pineapple, or melon. You can also taste cashews, hazelnuts, Turkish delicacies, pastries, and various sweets. All products are from local farms and fields. The biggest agricultural and farming area is Karpaz Peninsula. Pastoral agriculture is traditional here, and various herd combinations of cattle and sheep can be seen on local pastures. The people of Northern Cyprus are passionate about wine. They grow a variety of grapevines on the extensive vineyards with great care. Each variety has its own characteristics, and work in the vineyards is done with the aim to get the best out of each grape. Besides wine, figs, pomegranates, and olives are among the strongest commodities. Olive groves can be seen everywhere and are a significant landscape feature of Cyprus. The ancient city of Salamis became capital of Cyprus around 1100 BC. The city shared the fate of the rest of the island and had to deal with the occupation of various superpowers, such as the Assyrians, Egyptians, Persians, and Romans. The ancient city covers an area of approximately 2 square kilometers, right on the coast near the city of Famagusta. In the vicinity of Salamis, covered in pine and eucalyptus trees, there are still areas waiting for archaeological surveys. The monastery and church of St. Barnabas is found on the outskirts of Salamis. St. Barnabas was killed while spreading Christianity, and his body was to be thrown into the sea. But his followers, who were later persecuted, found his body and buried him. The final resting place of St. Barnabas was not to be found for 423 years, until it supposedly appeared in a dream to Bishop Anthemios, who then ordered the opening of the tomb. Located about 6 kilometers from the town of Gurne, Belape Abbey is a beautiful example of the Gothic architecture skills of the Lusignan dynasty. The monastery consists of a church, refectory, accommodation, and warehouse space around a beautiful courtyard. It was originally occupied by the French Brotherhood of the Order of Prémontré, and even then it was called Abbé de Lupas. The main entrance is through a large gate on the south side of the abbey, which replaced the original drawbridge. The church is among the best preserved part of the complex, and Italian frescoes on the walls date back to the 15th century. It is said that under the floor of the church lies the graves of several Lusignan kings. The courtyard boasts 18 arches and beautiful, lush gardens, which are comfortable even in high summer temperatures. The famous English writer Lawrence Durrell, who bought a house in the village of Velapa, once said that he felt guilty when he was so fearless and daring to buy a house in such a beautiful area. Its beauty is legendary, and the location in the mountains offers spectacular views of the coast and the town of Gurne. Of course, there are mosques with minarets, which are located in almost every town and village, such as the beautiful Fazil Pasapolat Mosque in Famagusta. But you often see churches and mosques standing next to each other. A beautiful example of this can be found in Dipkarpaz. The church, together with the mosque, stands right on the main road leading to the easternmost tip of the island. Therefore, it is often the stop of passing tourists and locals. Respect for other religions is one of the pillars of Northern Cyprus thinking, and also, because of that, locals are so peaceful and friendly. Ancient temples that were later converted into mosques can also be found in Northern Cyprus, and show again an interesting clash of cultures. The most famous and biggest example is the former St. Nicholas Cathedral, known today as the Lala Mustafa Pasha Mosque. In front of the mosque, there's a statue of respected Turkish poet and writer Namık Kemal, who was sent into exile from then Ottoman Empire to Famagusta. Gothic-style architecture reminds very much of Notre Dame in Paris. Likewise, the Cathedral of St. Sophia in Lefkosia, or Belapa Abbey, are also similar in style. All appear to be the work of French architects, and for good reason. For 3 centuries, French Lusignans were the ruling dynasty in Cyprus. In front of the mosque, a 300-year-old mulberry tree offers nice shade, and its immense treetop provides shelter from strong summer sun. In the vicinity of the mosque, beautiful ruins of medieval dwellings can be seen, where you can feel as if you're in the Middle Ages. There are plenty of markets in the streets where you can buy souvenirs, or you can refresh yourself with fine homemade juices and fresh sandwiches. In the heart of the capital, Lefkosia, also known as Nicosia, a short walk from the St. Sophia Cathedral and the Great Khan Inn, is the last place of its kind in the world. A border dividing the capital of two states, the Republic of Cyprus and the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus. The metropolis has been divided since 1974, separated by a demilitarized zone administered by the United Nations. It may be crossed at two border crossings. The Greek part of the city, at the southern, western, and eastern side of Nicosia, has just over 200,000 inhabitants, and the Turkish north of the city, just over 84,000 inhabitants.
I think it's very sad that even 40 years on, that the country has not been recognised, and people in Europe don't understand the history of the island. And it's amazing how many people don't understand that the island is divided.
The northern part of Cyprus, even though it's real, it exists with its government, with its cabinet or ministers. It's not officially, at this current time, recognized.
In 2004, a referendum on reunification of the island was held, which, if approved, would create the United Cyprus Republic and would subsequently join the European Union. Although the plan of UN Secretary-General Kofi Annan in the northern part was accepted, it was rejected by the Greek part of Cyprus. Therefore, unfortunately, the island remains divided. Close to the famous five-fingered Vespamac Mountain is the first 18-hole golf course called Corinium Golf and Country Club. It was designed by the famous British architect David Hemstock for golfers of all ability levels and ages. Of course, there's golf cart rental, a bar and restaurant, lodging, or golf lessons with PGA professionals. Beautiful lawns and views of the Mediterranean Sea offer a first-class experience for all golf enthusiasts. For motorsport lovers, there's a chance to rent ATVs and drive along the banks of the sea or mountain ridges. The clear blue sea encourages a wide variety of activities, from sailing to scuba diving, parasailing, and other extreme sports. You can find excellent restaurants everywhere, as well as on the beaches, where you can spend unforgettable moments. However, there are beaches where extreme sports or noisy activity are not to be found. But there's something very cute waiting for you there.
I work for the Marine Turtle Conservation Project, which is in conjunction with SPOT, which is the Society for Protection of Turtles, which runs in North Cyprus. We get two kinds of turtles here. We get greens and loggerheads. We monitor this beach, Alagadi, we monitor every night from the middle of May until the middle of October. And during the adult nesting season, which is from May till about mid-July, we'll monitor the adults through the whole nesting process. We'll make sure we can ID the female, and we take a bit of a genetic sample, and then we put the anti-predation cages over the nests. And then hatchling season, we look for these little guys, help them out of the nest. We excavate the nest 48 hours after we first see them hatch, and that's when we get to be able to see these guys during the day. We take some genetic samples from them and then we release them in the evening. And the project's been going for, I think, 23 years now. It was established in 1992, so it's been going a long time. So hopefully we're making a difference.
The clean and calm seacoast is one of the reasons for the extensive sea life in northern Cyprus. Fish are among the favorite dishes, not only of local residents, but also tourists. The sea is one of the biggest attractions in northern Cyprus. Golden Beach, the most famous, is located in the Karpas Peninsula. The clean sand, a slow descent to the sea, is ideal for beach activities, swimming, and relaxing. It's no wonder why Golden Beach is ranked among the 10 most beautiful beaches in the world. On the hills behind the beach is a protected wilderness area for wild donkeys. Their wilderness was created in 1974, when thousands of domestic donkeys that were support to peasants were abandoned. The new government collected them and left them in this remote area because of its plentiful grass. The donkeys, however, favored agricultural crops. Local farmers complained and demanded they be moved to the mainland. Locals and animal rights activists protested, so now the donkeys are still there and peacefully coexisting in the same area, and the farmers have no choice but to protect their crops. As the sun sets over northern Cyprus, another side of the island awakens. An exciting nightlife and luxury hotels like the Kratos Hotel are another highlight of this amazing country.
Biz bir aile oteliyiz ve kaliteli hizmeti ve lüks hizmeti misafirlerimize vermiş olmanın mutluluğunu duyuyoruz. Bizim başlıca hedeflerimizden bir tanesi de siz bu hizmeti ne kadar güzel alırsanız biz o kadar çok mutlu oluruz. Kasinomuz adanın en lüks ve en kaliteli kasinosudur. Birçok slot makinamız, 2 adet çok yüksek parayla oynanabilen özel VIP odalarımız ve smart kart sistemiyle çok profesyonel bir hizmet vermekteyiz. Kasino anlayışına değişik bir boyut getirdiğimizi düşünüyoruz.
In addition to the casino, you can spend beautiful moments enjoying several swimming pools or on the private beach. Because beautiful moments are exactly what defines the feelings of northern Cyprus visitors. Adventure that we experienced shows us what amazing and enormous things can be found in this small country. Starting with hospitality, fascinating historical monuments, to almost untouched Mediterranean scenery. So next time you ask yourself where to go on holiday, don't forget that there's also a country called Northern Cyprus.
Loving every